Hey everyone, just wanted to say at the start here that I almost didn't upload this video. So this documents my journey at the end of June to get into the top 1200 Mythic before the rank reset so that I could get 20 play-in points. It was an interesting draft, and I definitely had some good games of Magic, and I usually don't like to give away how these things go, but I made a very bad mistake at the end that leads to just some, sad vibes at the end of the video. I don't censor drafts that don't have a good result because they don't have a good result, but if the vibes end up more sad than fun, then sometimes, I just try to record something that's a little bit more buoyant and enjoyable, even if, I don't always trophy. So I was going to leave this one in the file drawer, see what they put up on Quick Draft in July, and then just try to record a fun video of that, because I also really want to give people who like watching drafts on YouTube but aren't into Marvel a regular stream of fun stuff to watch. But then July 1 rolled around and I realized they literally have no non-Marvel option anymore. So this is the only Bloomburrow draft that I had left on my hard drive that I hadn't yet posted. So I decided to put this up as a weekend bonus episode. It should still be plenty of fun to watch. But if you're not someone who's specifically hungry for non-Universes Beyond content, you might rather just go watch one of my normal weekday uploads. All right, with that said, past me, take it away. Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft video every weekday. Right now, Magic Arena is Marvel, 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 Marvel this and Marvel that, but not everybody loves Marvel. You might have heard that I'm also not the biggest Marvel fan or Universes Beyond enthusiast. And so for those of you who like watching YouTube drafts, but aren't into the current set, I wanted to keep something moving. And what better to do than absolutely one of my favorite draft sets of all time, Bloomburrow. If you know me, you know that I like splashing and value, and in Bloomburrow Quick Draft especially, the bots let you splash pretty much to your heart's content if you understand how to splash in Bloomburrow, which is a very delicate art in such a fast format. Now, currently, I'm sitting at Mythic number 1351, but only the top 1,200 Mythic players get play-in points. I've managed to get play-in points for being in the top 1,200 Mythic 2 months in a row, but 54 play-in points is not enough for me. I want to climb my way right back up 151 more rankings so that I can get 74 play-in points. So that's the goal for today. All right, pack one, pick one. What have we got? So you might want Scavenger's Talent, which is a super value-oriented card, to be good. Unfortunately, this is just really a tough sell in Bloomburrow. To spend basically any cards not affecting the board directly. I believe in Bloomburrow Sealed it was doable, but in Draft it is just not going to fly. So where does that leave us? So my approach to Bloomburrow is very value oriented, based around the fact that especially in Quick Draft, the bots are passing tons of phenomenal cards. And if you know how to splash, specifically cards that affect the board are your only ways of splashing, and I guess lands, then you can really pick up a very powerful collection of cards. And that typically happens in the Sultai space. So I'm really hoping to lean Sultai. The bots kind of overdraft white, for example, bats. Okay, so that leads me towards like Saver, Polywallop, that kind of space. I'm not first picking Splash Portal, so I think I'm just going to go with a Saver, probably the best removal spell in the format. Or is the best removal spell in the format Fell? Or Feed the Cycle? We're getting absolutely cursed with amazing removal. This is one of my favorite cards that exists in Bloomburrow. 3-Tree Rootweaver, or Rooty Tooty as I call it. Rooty Tooty is where it's at in this format if you're in the know. That is how you get an unlimited splash going. It is a 1/3 that protects your life total, splashes into any color, comes down on turn 2, and ramps you into your big green statsy stuff. That is fixing done right in Bloomburrow. Having said that, I think I'm just going to take Fell here. As much as I hate to ever pass Rooty Tooty, starting out with a Fell and a Saver is pretty sweet. Okay, this pack has one of my favorite cards that there is, Splash Lasher. I think this card has come down in the data since when Bloomburrow first came out, if my memory serves. So as it's come back on flashback, the Lasher has done a little bit worse. 4 mana, and especially 6 mana, is a lot to ask in this format, but it just pays for itself in terms of its effect on the board. This is a card that can absolutely speed bump the aggro decks. I don't mind Calamitous Tide and would be happy to wheel it. What else? Cash Grab is a really strong common. Daggerfang Duo is nice. Uncharted Haven is okay. It's okay splashing, but I'm just going to take the Splash Lasher. What's better splashing than a Splash Lasher? And in fact, when you have a Long River Lurker, Splash Lasher gets even better because you can flicker it and stun something down. What is there worth noting in here? I mean, Sonar Strike is fine, but the bots are just going to chop up all of the white amongst themselves. So I don't really see that as a viable option. There's basically no green left, which is interesting, although Long River Lurker is mainly a frogs piece. There's also some various random pieces of red and stuff, but I am definitely just going to take this Long River Lurker. It is far and away the best pick in the pack for me, I believe. Okay, never mind what I said about green, because there's a Pawn Prophet, another of the best cards to play with Splash Slasher, and we're headed straight for Sultai Value Town. Eddy Merc Crab is okay. It's brutal when it lands on you, but it takes a long time to land on you. So I'm just going to snap up a Pawn Prophet. Seeing that alongside Bellowing Crier really makes me believe that Frogs is open right after being passed a Lurker into a Splash Slasher. This is a very interesting pack. I mean, the best card in the pack by a mile, I think, is Ruthless Negotiation. This card's just bonkers. It's kind of a 3-for-1. Longstock Brawl is also a very strong removal spell, and Sunshower Druid's pretty nice with some of these other pieces, especially like the Long River Lurker. Uncharted Haven would not be so bad either to get some splashing online, but I think I'm just going to go with the Ruthless Negotiation. It is actually possible that we end up in straight blue-black, especially because we got these good black cards, although those are not signals because we picked them very, very early in the draft. Now, this pack is pretty empty. I mean, I could take a Mudflat Village, pretty bad when I have Ruthless Negotiation, Fell, and Savor. Heaped Harvest is absolutely not the type of fixing that you want to be running in Bloomburrow. Thought Shucker and Tempest Angler are both terrible blue creatures. I guess Mouse Trapper is the best card, or maybe Pileated Provisioner. Honestly, this just seems like a bad pack. I think let's just snap up the Mudflat Village. Like, I don't really want to run it, but it's the most plausible card that we would run. I guess Thought Shucker would be right behind it. I'm not being pulled into white by a Pileated Provisioner. Okay, this kind of thing seems to happen a lot in these drafts. I'm actually kind of surprised to see Crumb and Get It, which is a really good card. But there's Runaway Together. Frilled Spark Shooter is pretty respectable. The thing is, there's a lot of blue-red, but the blue-red are all bad. Like, every one of these cards is bad. I'm a little surprised to see a strong white card in here, but I'm just going to take the blue card. I think that could be fine in my deck. There's a reason that I said I might wheel the Splash Portal, right? Pretty sure I said that and didn't just think it. This Splash Portal is going to be very nice in my Pawn Prophet, Long River Lurker, Splash Slasher deck. And holy cow, folks, we did it. We wheeled Rudy Tooty. Unbelievable. It's not actually, you know, that winning a card. It's just the absolute cornerstone to my strategy in Bloomburrow. So here I'm going to happily take Oak Hollow Village. I doubt I'm actually going to run this one. I'm certainly not going to run both of these two. But now we are very solidly leaning in the direction of Sultai Value. Big surprise to everyone, I'm sure. Okay, because I started out in Frogs, you would be forgiven for thinking that Clement the Worrywart is what we're looking to open, but it's just not actually that good a card. It's mainly a 3/3 Vigilance for 3. The rest of what it does is really not that impressive. It could be used to ramp, I guess, but it doesn't even really fix your mana. So I am honestly going to be taking the Patchwork Banner. I feel like we're most likely going to be playing a whole lot of Frogs, just sort of given how the last pack went. There is a Sticky Tongue Sentinel, which is arguably a better 3/3 for 3 than Clement, simply because it can like pick up a Hunter's Talent, for example, and let you recast it. But we don't really have reasons to be prioritizing it right now. And I think Patchwork Banner, this is actually good fixing if you have a lot of creatures, because in a sense, it does affect the board. It makes all of your stuff bigger. I actually do not mind Spellgyre at all. I'm not likely to be leaning in any of these super splashy directions of Blooming Blast or Burrowguard Mentor. Hazel's Nocturne is really nice value, but it's a little bit slow and not affecting the board for me. And Nocturnal Hunger, I'm really not looking for yet another black spot removal. Having said all of that, I may be able to just wheel the Spellgyre. So is there something else that I would rather spend some high picks on? Probably not Light Shell Duo. And maybe I just take the Spellgyre. Not the best card ever printed, but I do actually quite like having one copy of it. So I'm just going to snap that up, see how that goes. Here I kind of think maybe I do actually just take the Eddy Merc Crab. Like I could take Longstock Brawl. I kind of want to have a lot of creatures though. I'm probably not playing Treetop Sentries. Patchwork Banner's not a creature. We have this Savor, we have this Fell. Probably not playing that Runaway Together. Ruthless Negotiation and Splash Portal. So we actually have a lot of non-creature spells. We also have a good amount of ramp now with Rudy 2D plus the Patchwork Banner. So maybe I just snap this guy up. It's probably the most inherently powerful card in the pack. So I think I'm happy enough to see that. Speaking of inherently powerful cards, there's the Long River Lurker, really a phenomenal card. This card is just good at so much. It gets you extra enters effects, it gets you leaving the battlefield triggers, which is a thing in Frogs, but then it also gets you just sneak damage. Like I could sneak through a 5/5 Eddymurt Crab. I will say Dazzling Denial is extremely tempting, really a fantastic spell, quench of the format, and there's Sunshower Druid, which I would hope to wheel. That would be a really nice little reward here, but let's see. Frogs is not feeling the most open ever, but that's why we're salt high value, not just Frogs. I could take Junkblade Bruiser here, but between Splash Lasher, Eddymurt Crab, and some sneak damage, I feel like I have my high end a little more covered, and just staying alive seems like a good idea. I will say having too many of this card can be a lot of kind of hot air for your deck. However, I'm probably not going to take a Brambleguard Veteran over it, and you really don't want 2 Spellguyers. I think 1 is where it's at. So I'll take another Sunshower Druid, even though that's really not the ideal thing to be doing. Okay, another Rudy Tooty is really fantastic because that's going to solve my mana issues. Having said that, there is a problem where if I'm running double Sunshower Druid, double Rudy Tooty, that's a lot of 1/3s effectively. But it does help you in the early game. It just means that we really have to have gas in the late game. Speaking of gas, Ruthless Negotiation. That card is just pretty bonkers. I wouldn't mind the Hidden Grotto at all, but it does speed bump you a little bit, and it looks like we're on a pretty dedicated ramp plan with Splash Lasher basically costing 6 mana, Eddymurt Crab costing, you know, effectively 5, 6, 7, Patchwork Banner and double Rudy Tooty. Yeah, so Ruthless Negotiation is also kind of nice with ramp because it does cost, you know, 6 mana total to get the whole value from it. And wow, if we're wheeling Eddymurt Crabs, I guess I'm happy with that. Let's just try to survive that long, I suppose, right? So technically, I think Hazel's Nocturne might be a better card in the format than Lightshell Duo. However, if you have double Rudy Tooty, you're starting to get to the point where you really want 4 drops as opposed to 3 drops. I mean, technically, Hazel's Nocturne is, you know, cost 4 mana, but I'm saying things that come down on turn 4. So something like a Night Whirl Hermit is a really bad use of a curve if you have double Rudy Tooty that's ramping you into 4 mana a lot of the time. However, I am going to take it just to try to push somebody into red, take a Sinister Monolith, and take a Bumble Flowers Share Pot. And let's hope that we get some good stuff in this pack. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't have birds for the bird build around. You really are hoping to open, like, I don't know, Ral or something, like good rares that other people are not playing because they've committed to a specific 2-color animal pair. But because you have, let's say, 3 Rudy Tooties, you get to run whatever the heck you want. That's really the ideal situation here. But this is just not going to fit the bill because we don't have birds. Now, Mind Spiral would actually be something I would put in my deck, but I'd rather have the Rudy Tooty to enable that kind of nonsense rather than picking the card and then not being able to actually run it. Here, I actually think Long River's Pull could be good for us. I don't think Persistent Marshstalker is going to be supported here. Yeah, I have 1 rat so far. Carrot Cake's kind of nice, but this is not really a Carrot Cake deck. I could take Rush Shield Rampager as well, but because I don't have a Dazzling Denial yet, I think let's invest in the Long River's Pull. I should say I would love to be able to play Consumed by Greed, but that double black cost is a little bit unattainable for us. I don't know, should I take the Rush Shield Rampager? It's completely unsynergistic. Yeah, maybe I'll actually just take, now that I said all of that, maybe I'll just take the Rush Shield Rampager. I feel like having good 6 drops or 4 drops is really nice in my deck because of the dedicated ramp plan that we have online now. And speaking of good 6 drops, hello Galewind Moose, one of the best 6 drops, probably the best 6 drop in the format, maybe the only good card that actually is a 6 drop. I'm very happy to play one of these guys ahead of Curve. Just looks like a really good investment. And hey, maybe we'll get a 4th Rudy Tooty and we can start cutting some Sunshower Druids or something. Okay, I don't mind Treeguard Duo whatsoever. I will say it is anti-synergistic with Long River Lurker because you do not, if you deal combat damage and then bring it back, then it buffs a creature after combat. Having said that, I'm happy to snap it up. I mean, Glide Dive Duo is like kind of fine as well. More in sealed than in draft though. But yeah, I really like the Treeguard Duo, especially when I have this ramp plan so solidly online. I know I said I don't really want 3 drops, but Sticky Tongue Sentinel is kind of an exception. This card is really strong. At this point, I'll probably cut that Rush Shield Rampager that I invested in. I probably don't even want to play the Lightshell Duo. I don't think I want to play either of these lands. Ooh, Dire Downdraft is a good one. More important than a 3rd Eddymurt Crab. And we are in a very dedicated ramp lane where we are trying to ramp our way up to some really good stuff and just survive while we do it. And speaking of really good stuff, hello Lily Splash Mentor. So Frogs was wide open, I'm very happy to say. This is one of the top frogs in the game. So you can flicker your Tree Guard Duo, you can flicker your Pawn Prophet, you can flicker your Long River Lurker for unblockable damage. In fact, you can even flicker your Eddy Merc Crab if it comes to that to tap a bunch of your opponent's creatures down. So I'll happily take the Lily Splash Mentor and let's just cut the Light Shell Duo. I do probably not play a second Splash Portal, I'm guessing. I suppose that I could. I think it's probably worse than like every other option though. It's possible. I mean, best case scenario, it's like draw 2 off a Pawn Prophet or something. Well, there are better case scenarios that we could come up with, but I just don't think that that is where it's at. Probably not going to play the Mind Spiral either. Now I can get that Long River's pull. I guess I wield it. Probably not going to run it. Maybe I run it over a Splash Portal, to be honest. Probably not, though. I feel like Splash Portal... Oh, maybe I play High Stride over a Splash Portal. Probably not that either. All right, and that is the deck. So now there's a question about how many swamps do I play. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sources without any lands being involved. That would be enough for about 2 black pips, but I have substantially more than that. I definitely want to always have green mana so that I can get my Rudy Tooties underfoot. So I don't know. Do you think I can do maybe 2, 8, 7, and 2? And that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black sources for 1. I'm never going to play Ruthless Negotiation and flash it back in the same turn probably. So it's really 1, 2, 3, 4 pips. It sounds okay. A little spare, but okay. I do have 3 cards with double blue pips, 1 card with double green pips. So the mana is definitely a little suspicious in the end, but hopefully our Rudy Tooties and our Patchwork Banner come through for us here. All right, let's see if we can't recover some rank here. So the name of the game is I want to gain about 100. Well, June is not quite over, so I want to regain maybe like 250 ranking to be safe. Let's see if this deck can make us go up in rank. I'm a little concerned we may bleed out a little bit of rank, but you know what? That's fine. What's life without a little bit of risk? Let's go. It has this funny glitch where it says I'm much higher rank than I am. Okay, I can keep this. I mean, Gale and Moose looking very awkward, but if we can just draw one of our Rudy Tooties, we'll be happy with that. Ruthless Negotiation into Fell will hopefully do a little bit of crowd control for us into Dire Downdraft, especially with an opponent on the mulligan. But of course, this is a go-wide format where spot removal is typically not very good. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely just going to open with a single Ruthless Negotiation. I have no Ruth in this negotiation. It is fully ruthless. What'll it be? All right, they exile a Kindle Spark Duo. All right, well, I'm glad I'm not going to be facing that guy. And now we have a Saver out. I need to remember this time that this is -2/-2. It is not Last Gasp. It is not -3/-3. All right, that can definitely be 3-tree. That 3-tree mascot, I will savor that 3-tree mascot. Thank you. Oof, Long River Lurker looking really awkward. Do I run it out here? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do I? I mean, I am a little worried about falling behind. Honestly, I think I do play the understated 2-3. I don't think I'm supposed to get greedy with value here. Looks like we're facing a pretty fast deck. I think I'm just supposed to play to the board while I can. It's Bloomburrow. This is one of the fastest formats ever printed. Yep, saved us from taking some Seaglaive Mentor damage. Youch, although it did prevent us from gaining some extra draw off of a Pawn Prophet, but let's hope we can draw a land here. All right, I like that. And then I probably do just fell that guy because I also have a Dire Downdraft after all of this. And they're getting pretty short on cards. And next turn I may have a Ruthless Negotiation on them. So we'll see. I also like the ward on my creatures. Brambleguard Captain is okay. So that guy might get direly downdrafted at some point. But for right now, I'm just going to play the Sunshower Druid. Let's put a counter on our Lurker. Now, do I want to hold back to block? So this guy is going to give itself +2/+0, and I'll probably just Dire Downdraft it at that point. So I don't think I'm supposed to hold back here at all. Now, I would really like to draw a land. That would be quite nice so that I can fire off my Ruthless Negotiation. Of course, my opponent sees it coming. It's been there since turn 1 of the game. All right, so let's just play the Dire Downdraft that we kind of telegraphed by tapping our Long River Lurker. All right, it goes back on top. Flame Cash Gecko, so it does not add 2 mana. I wonder if that speed bumped them at all. So yeah, they probably have just some random land in their hand. Oh, wow. Hey there, 3 mana Eddie Mert Crab. Okay, then. So yeah, probably just played at the end of their turn. So I'll go in with Longer for Lurker. It's not worth trying to push the damage right now. Oh, they're highlighting cards in their hand. I wonder if they have something. Yeah, I probably just play this during their turn. They could attack me with the Flame Cash Gecko if they want to. I honestly don't mind. Okay, well, actually, they're going to play the Brambleguard Captain right now. So then before we go to combat, I'm going to play the Eddie Mert Crab, and let's tap those guys down. I love Sultai in this set. Yep, that looks like a pretty convincing victory right there. All right, hey, you know what? Okay, shut down the app. Mythic 1160. If I were in a cheesy mood, maybe I wouldn't play the next game and just see what happens over the next day and see if I can get those juicy 20 play-in points. But that's not the kind of person I am. Look, I just value making content for you so much that we're going to run out the next game and we're going to risk our top 1200 status. All right, Captain Planet. It's a beautiful name for a player who's playing Bloomburrow, right? For an environmentalist magician. All right, I'll keep, even though the hand kind of sucks, honestly. So Splash Portal does not go with Rudy Tooty. It does not trigger off of Mole or Druid. But I think Saver should hopefully keep us alive. Having a 1/3, having a Saver, hopefully just keeps us alive. Yeah, didn't really want to see another land. I'll admit that. But hey, if we can get an Eddie Mert Crab soon, then maybe we'll be okay. All right, this one I probably will just Saver. Okay, especially now that I found a Fell. I think we can spend the Saver on that 3-tree mascot and just try to prevent our opponent from kind of racing us out here. I don't know if that's important to their game plan, but if they're splashing, that could have been, you know, pretty brutal. Okay, I don't believe that I have any foraging, so I'm just going to crack this, try to keep my life total up. Would love to get like a pawn profit. Okay, I could just draw nothing. Yeah, could just draw nothing. Yeah, well, that's a little unfortunate. So now Fell might have to hit whatever they play here. Okay, all right, at least they're not like racing me out, right? Okay, I don't hate that. I mean, I cannot actually double spell with this thing. It also seems like they maybe don't have that much in their hand, but maybe they have another color going on. Was that an Overprotect? It was. Okay, so now we have some explanation as to what's going on over there. A little bit choked on black lands, even with all the lands that I have, but Ruthless Negotiation next turn should be nice. I wonder if they'll kill my 3-tree Root Weaver. Okay, yeah, that's interesting to me. Maybe it would have been good for them to blow up the Rudy Tooty. So I wonder what this is going to be. It's not Dazzling Denial. Oh, they have an instant to kill it? Yeah, you might want to have destroyed it with your Sharepot. Right? Because then I wouldn't have been able to cast Ruthless Negotiation. Just a suggestion. Okay, Sky Skipper Duo is gone. Opponent has nothing in hand. I'm just going to land a Pawn Profit. Next turn, we'll Splash Portal it for infinite value. Okay, another Ruthless Negotiation. Yep, not exactly what I want to see here, now that they've blanked my Fell as well, by the way. Heaped Harvest, my claim is that that's not the way to be splashing in this format. Oh, they were actually playing that card to splash. You probably wouldn't play it if there's no splashing going on, so that makes sense. But I'm not playing the type of deck that can punish you for playing Heaped Harvest. Sorry, we should first go to combat. It's not like I'm going to draw a haste creature here, so let's just get in for a cheeky 1 damage, and then let's draw 2. Pretty weak use of Splash Portal. I'm wondering if Splash Portal should instead be something else. 2 lands. Well, I'm just going to play the Long River Lurker. 2 non-black lands, by the way. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Long River Lurker next turn and try to draw more cards. I'm not exactly being overrun yet. Fingers crossed. Wow, a 4th color. Holy cow. This person's splashing more than I am. All right. Yep, you get an extra counter on that thing. Yep, that makes sense. And then you can give it haste and get in for an extra damage. Yep, makes sense. No, I like it. All right. I mean, I don't like it. Wow, okay, can I stop drawing green and blue lands, please? Like, 22 cards left. I'm starting to get into some trouble with all of these lands. Not what I'm looking for at all. All right, in with the Prophet. Bonk you for 1. I do choose to flicker it. All right, and can I get something good, please? Like Eddie Mer Crab, maybe. Another longer for Lurker. So funny. I don't think I want to play that, do I? It seems like no. So maybe they'll spend their share pot on my Lurker and then hit me for 5. Or, yeah, hit me for 5. Camellia. Okay, can I now get a black source, please? I've been holding this fell for how long now? Whew, okay, so you can sack a food, make a squirrel, then you can forage, put a counter on all of your squirrels. Yeah, we just kind of ran out of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 7 lands left. 2 of them are swamps. To a certain extent, it's my fault for my kind of crappy mana base, but... Okay, Lily Splash Mentor. I just want to draw swamp, honestly, I think. To a certain extent, it's my fault for my crappy mana base, but I don't think that many decks could have withstood flooding out like that. I do have a little bit of air in my deck, but I didn't even draw the air, really. Yeah, Spell Gyre would have been nice a long time ago. So I can play this card, play a land, but then I can't even flicker anything. Yeah, it's pretty hopeless here. Oh, just gave them time to draw Camellia into Vren. I'm not going to concede, but we're long past concession territory. Okay, so let's think through this. Okay, so... Now, this is interesting to me. When you sacrifice a food, you make a 1/1, and you can forage to put a counter on each squirrel you control. And you can forage once here. So I can double block the 3... Or I can double block Camellia, and 2 of my cards will survive. Chump the 3-tree mascot and kill Vren. And then Vren is not a squirrel. It doesn't have menace. And you don't get to go to the end step with it. Okay, this was a pretty aggressive attack. Am I missing something here? Oh, this has menace. Oh, so I'm like almost dead. That's what I'm missing. Oh, so I'm actually straight up dead because everything has menace? Right, because these 3 have menace. I cannot block enough of them unless I let Vren trigger. Yeah. Oh, maybe I need to be playing another swamp. I don't know. I think this was pretty implausible. Like, I drew 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I drew all but 3 of my forests and islands, and then none of my swamps. Maybe go up 1 more swamp. Yeah, anyways, I'm not winning this one. They just got time to play Camellia and Vren because my mana base was not so great, and I just drew like only lands. All right, let's adjust the deck a little bit. I mean, maybe I cut 1 island for a swamp is what that tells me, probably. Well, they killed Rudy Tooty, I think, in the incorrect order, but them killing it was really important because it would have been able to fell the Camellia before it did too much damage. Then I wouldn't have had an answer for Vren. The deck might be a little bit too much air, but I think that was a really implausible number of lands to draw. Okay, on to the next one. This is looking pretty bad as well. I guess I'll keep it. This looks like a lot of air as well, unfortunately. Oh, maybe the deck is just too much do nothing. Could be. My last opponent also mulliganed, and we got them... we removed their filterer, but then they got another filterer and a bunch of basics, so... But I feel like we've also kind of experienced the deck when I'm having good luck, to a certain extent. Although, I wouldn't describe the last game as particularly good luck. Seems like an issue in deck construction. The hands I'm drawing are like kind of a lot of doing nothing. All right, Persistent Marsh Stalker. Yeah, that's a very awkward one for me, actually. All right, go ahead and play Pawn Prophet. I mean, that's a good one to bounce with Dire Downdraft. But probably next turn I'll just play Long River Lurker, attack with a Pawn Prophet. Because I put the counter on the Sunshower Druid, which was the only option at the time, it's not exactly a card that I want to be flickering. Bellowing Crier, okay. We'll see if they do get the rats to make this happen. As I recall, you know, this card looks really, really good. It's not the easiest thing in the world to start attacking with it, unless you're in the full-on rats deck. You know, start attacking with rats and bringing it back a lot, I mean. All right, they're not attacking me, which I quite like. They do not have Dazzling Denial mana, so maybe that means I play Lily Splash Mentor. I guess playing Lily Splash Mentor means I could go Long River Lurker plus Fell next turn. It also means, though, that they could just spend a removal spell on the Lily Splash Mentor. Might be better to land Long River Lurker to get Ward online before I play the Mentor. But yeah, they don't have Dazzling Denial mana, so it's like, would you rather play around counter or removal? If they remove it here, you know, I'm not crying. It's not like that's my whole game plan or anything. It's a good card, but it's more of a very late game card. Right now, I think it mostly just represents stats for me. I assume it's going to get removed here. That's my strong assumption, given that they're playing black. And because it's so good with the other cards that I have. Okay, another Bellowing Crier. In that case, I probably don't even play the Long River Lurker. I might just flicker the Pawn Prophet to try to get value off of my Lily Splash Mentor. Although that is like a little bit slow, isn't it? I assume they're digging for a land. Oh, they pitched Shore Up. Okay, so they did find a land. Maybe they have Fell. Rat Colony, right. This is from a bonus sheet or something. +1/+0 for each other rat you control. Okay. Maybe I just kill Rat Colony. Right, I forgot that they had Persistent Marshstalker in the set and then also Rat Colony. Yeah, I might just kill Rat Colony and flicker my Pawn Prophet. Okay, kind of sounds reasonable. So flicker the Pawn Prophet with blue, blue, green. Flicker this guy. I mean, I guess I could also flicker the Sunshower Druid to have a good blocker, but I kind of feel like just getting an extra card is pretty nice. Play a land, and then, yeah, let's just fell the Rat Colony, I think. Because the thing about this is I could also fell the Persistent Marshstalker, but if I do that, then they can just bring it back by attacking with Rat Colony. And then, yeah, we definitely don't have any attacks. With Long River Lurker plus Lily Splash Mentor, you can get a lot of unblockable damage in as well. Like, I could get in 6 unblockable damage next turn by playing Long River Lurker, targeting Pawn Prophet, flickering it, targeting Lily Splash Mentor. So that can be good. Here, I'll absolutely just block with the Persistent Marshstalker. Ooh, that's a nice one. Oh, that might just be better than whatever else I was planning on doing. I mean, the other option is just play Long River Lurker, flicker the Pawn Prophet, hold up Dire Downdraft to bounce the Shoreline Looter. That makes Eddie Merc Crab cheaper in the future. It will be obvious to them that I have something if I don't also flicker the Pawn Prophet. Certainly it's obvious to them that I have something if I just don't do anything here. Eddie Merc Crab is not that amazing. So let's go ahead and just get our extra card. And also Ward, I think, could be pretty important in this matchup. And I think preventing them from getting Shore Looter online sounds like a valuable goal. All right, draw an extra card. Oh, Splash Lasher is really nice. All right, then I guess I'll just pass. It's interesting. Control versus control. The possibilities are endless. I'm kind of hoping to eventually get a discount on that Eddie Merc Crab. I also kind of don't want to run it into a Dazzling Denial. I think if they're going to Dazzling Denial, they'll do it right now. So I'm kind of trying to bait that, see if they have it. And if we can actually, if they spend a turn drawing Shoreline Looter instead of a land, I think that has to be good for me. Okay, they had another Shore Up. I guess that makes sense that that's why they threw away a previous Shore Up. Sure. Now Eddie Merc Crab is cheaper. And actually can survive a Dazzling Denial, which is kind of nice. Like, that's actually relevant. So yeah, I'm going to try to crab it up next turn. Okay, so the last card in their hand, maybe not the most important card, if this is how we're doing it. Yeah, they don't have any bird, so Dazzling Denial. Oh, what's this? Pitching a Thornplate Intimidator? That is scary to me. Okay, so they're going to know that I have something going on if this is all that I do. But I'm pretty confident that it's time to just land the Eddie Merc Crab. And yeah, let's play around Dazzling Denial. So I'm just going to not do anything very suspiciously. Kind of like the idea of just landing the crab, because Lily Splash Mentor flickering the crab is kind of nasty. All right, so let's try to land this. See if it happens. It does. Let's tap the Shoreline Looter and maybe Thought Shucker. I'll probably just tap the Persistent Marshstalker, honestly. That's a good blocker against me, so. All right, so we're passing through their attack step. That makes sense. And then Night Whirl Hermit, not a card I'm eager to play. Okay, so I can play Splash Lasher with Offspring and then Splash Portal it. That's kind of cool. Basically, what I want to do is if I can tap down 2 Bellowing Criers and then another Bellowing Crier, they do get to attack me with Shoreline Looter if I do that, but I can go in with like a lot in that situation. Lily Splash Mentor plus the Crab. You know what I can also do is just flicker Long River Lurker onto the Crab. Is that better than off-springing this guy? Making it unblockable? Maybe all that I do is lock down their Shoreline Looter. Then I'm going to flicker my Long River Lurker onto the Crab. Bring it back and tap down some of their stuff. That doesn't do anything. I love Bloomburrow. It's so complicated. Okay, so let's open with a Splash Lasher. I think I'm going to not offspring it, to be honest, because flickering is kind of the offspring of whatever, if you know what I mean. I'm a poet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and actually, instead of flickering, I could start by splash portaling the Long River Lurker, because that gets me an extra card, and I don't think this is going to get removed here. So I do this, it comes back. I'm going to target the Eddy Merc Crab. Next, attack with Eddy Merc Crab. This goes in, and then am I going to flicker it? Yeah, why the heck not? So let's bring that back. I don't really know what the point of that was, but might as well. Just tap down some of their stuff. I don't think that that really matters. Then I'm going to go ahead and I could flicker the Pawn Prophet for an extra card. I could also flicker the Splash Lasher to lock down, let's say, Persistent Marsh Stalker. I actually think I am going to do the extra card here. I think I'm going to do the extra card here because that last card in their hand seemed like it was pretty good. And I feel like just having some value that's not on the board could be useful. Okay, yeah, like another Eddy Merc Crab. Why not? They are completely choked on mana, so I feel like I'm getting lucky. My opponents are getting lucky in all of these. My opponents are getting unlucky in all of these games. The question is only, do I get lucky? Well, they get unlucky. Or do we both get unlucky at each other for a while? All right, so then let's target this one, and then might as well do Splash Lasher here, I think. So that's going to be 8 damage. I could do 12. I can threaten lethal, so I think we might as well attempt that. This is such a messed up Frog's play pattern, so we have 12 damage lethal. And let's see if they have like a dire downdraft. They would have to pay ward. No, they don't. All right, GG's, GG's. I love frogs. It's super, super fun. All right, back up to 1288. Still 88 places shy of getting play-in points. That last loss really cost us. The deck did feel better there, but it was against a very, well, not a very slow deck, but like another deck that's a little bit on the slower side for Bloomburrow. So maybe I want to make some adjustments. I wonder if like cutting, like Splash Portal does not feel so great, but I don't know if that's just because I had out like a Lily Splash Mentor. But you know, I could cut that for Long River's Pole. Seems a little bit rough on the mana. High Stride potentially. I don't think I'm getting into a lot of, you know, fisticuffs in combat. Could be Rush Shield Rampager. The deck feels not too slow. Should I try that? I feel like Splash Portal's been pretty bad for me. Maybe I try Light Shell Duo because it surveils. Pretty awkward curve, but I do have triple Rudy 2D and a Patchwork Banner, so I think that's about right. It's just that my hands have felt really, really light on concrete things to do, like opportunities to press threats, ways of generating card advantage, that kind of thing. My opening hands have felt particularly futureless. So I think packing the deck with just one more card that strongly affects the board and also fixes my upcoming draws on its own is probably a good investment. But it is also slow, so eyes wide open that now I might get run over. But Splash Portal was not going to stop me from getting run over, so. All right, you know what? Hey, I don't mind it. 3-tree Rootweaver into Light Shell Duo with a Patchwork Banner that can then ramp us into Eddy Merc Crab. The creature types are looking a little bit rough for Patchwork Banner, but I'm just going to name Frog, even though it doesn't affect anything that I have right now. another non-frog. Well, hey, that's okay. I don't mind the Light Shell Duo on 3 at all. It's just got a great stat line against whatever white aggressive deck this is. It's so funny to see the Marvel lands here in in Bloomburrow. Okay, I don't mind that because it also helps us make sure that we're going to get our lands for the upcoming attractions. Swamp into Fell sounds kind of awesome, actually. Maybe I don't need the Swamp because I have the Patchwork Banner, but I kind of think it's a good idea to just invest in that. I also do have a creature with Prowess. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. Might as well play the Patchwork Banner. Honestly, I am just going to name Frog, even though I know that's like a little bit odd. when I don't have any frogs out. It's just that it's the overwhelming majority of cards in my deck. I think naming like Otter, if this guy then gets removed, is just not, it's just like giving up too much value. So then after that, we're going to play Island into Galewind Moose. If, actually, I can even afford an Eddymurt Crab next turn. That's kind of awesome. I love Bloomburrow. This is so awesome. So I guess I can literally play Island into Eddymurt Crab, right? With nothing in the bin. Okay, if I attack with this Light Shell Duo, I'm offering a trade for Strike Force. That sounds kind of bad, doesn't it? Kind of want to land the crab. I kind of want to land the crab, and I'm the aggressor. So, like, I don't want this to get Dazzling Denialed, which it looks like they could possibly be playing. And I don't really want the, trade here. So yeah, let's just plop down the crab, even though it gives them info about what's going on. Now I'm representing Fell, or I have a Fell plus Galewind Moose, and I'm representing a lot of damage. Wow. You think you're the beatdown? That's very interesting to me. Oh, maybe they just wanted Star Charter. No, if you just wanted Star Charter... Oh yeah, no, you had to attack. This has Vigilance, and you had to attack with that one to get the Star Charter value. Okay, so maybe that's what they wanted. Well, I'm just going to kill the Star Charter and then attack with the other two. Even though this one has Double Strike, I think the value is probably more important in this game. And also, I'm about to play a Galewind Moose when they attack me, so... We'll see. I mean, hey, maybe they're right and they are the beatdown, but I'm really going to need some substantial proof of that claim. They probably know I have something because... They probably know I have something for 6, because otherwise I probably would have attacked with the 3-tree Rootweaver to punish... to punish them if they decided to... Yeah, if they decided to chump one of these creatures. All right, that was pretty nice. Turns out I'm the beatdown. And now we're solidly above 1200 again. So you know what? Whatever happens in this draft, we've had lots of opportunities to get cheesy with it. Just disconnect arena, get our play-in points. But I'm going to be sporting today. Every win is harder than the previous win because that's how draft works. So the chances that we slide down are always increasing. But you know what? We're going to fight to the bitter end. All right, folks, can we keep our streak running? I like this hand. It's a little bit more froggy than my other hands, and I would like more, you know, I don't know, Pawn Profits or something if this is how my hands are going to look. But hey, you know what? I can't complain too much. The only thing is ramping into Tree Guard Duo is awkward, and flickering any of these cards with Long River Lurker is awkward. As I explained before, this is actually a non-combo because of the sequencing, and another Rudy 2D, not necessarily what I'm looking for, but okay. Sticky Tongue Sentinel, at least that's a 3-drop. I mean, it's a 3-drop. It can bounce the Tree Guard Duo if I want to get more value out of that. That's kind of a classic Bloomburrow line, although not a good one. That's sort of a move of desperation. Love the opponent's Feldegriff, by the way. Very nice. Okay, if they kill my Rudy 2D, okay, that's perfectly fine. So this actually, yeah, that's fine. I guess slightly tedious. You know what? I could actually Sticky Tongue Sentinel picking up my Rudy 2D. That kind of sounds good. Even though this doesn't ramp me, next turn I can double spell Rudy 2Ds. In fact, I can triple spell Rudy 2Ds, which is maybe not the best thing in the world, but... Okay, Heaped Harvest getting a land. So we're playing against a fellow gamer, someone who loves an unlimited splash. Okay, no, it's actually the same color. So they're just trying to make 3 colors work, which I obviously respect. So in with the Sticky Tongue... Oh, what do you have? Oh, bounce target non-land permanent into the Floodmaw. All right, that's fine. I think that's probably not really worth an extra card to do that. And now we're just going to up our Tree Guard Duo count. That's that's all that I'm in it for. All right. Let's see if we can't get some beats online soon. I'm feeling a little bit like maybe I've spent a while without doing that much. And I'm giving the opponent opportunities to draw whatever they're playing all these colors for. Storm Chaser's Talent could be one such thing, although I will note this is much better. It's a card that I think people overrate in Bloomburrow because it was so good and constructed. So I'll go ahead and play Rudy 2D first. Oh, what do you have? 2 white, Crumb and Get It. So then I'll play a Tree Guard Duo. This will easily survive a Crumb and Get It. Oh, no, it's not Crumb and Get It. They're getting priority because they can sack their Heaped Harvest is the thing. Swinging for 5, and we're just going to try to get some beats online. All right, so this thing they can level up and bring back into the Floodmaw. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now you get another basic. I'm hoping you're not now going to get a 4th color. That would be Okay, good. That would be scary. And now I can actually start looping Tree Guard duos. I do have to be aware of Dazzling Denial, but it would only counter unless I pay 2. They don't have the second blue for Long Rivers, whatever. Okay, Head of the Homestead. Yeah, that's something. Okay, so now can I go... I can Long River Lurker my Tree Guard duo. Okay, what I really want to do is like bounce Tree Guard duo, recast it, and then make something unblockable, but that doesn't sound like something that's possible to do by the rules of mathematics. So I'm going to go tap, 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 play a Sticky Tongue Sentinel. Let's bounce the Tree Guard duo, and then we do need to do this in the correct order. I'm going to play a Sunshower Druid, probably just put the counter on the Sticky Tongue Sentinel, actually. No, sorry. I'll put the counter on whatever I'm attacking with. It's not going to get flickered necessarily, because next turn I could just target something else with Long River Lurker. Play the Tree Guard duo. Now, the thing about this is they can just chump block. That's the annoying thing. It's not like it has trample. That's the unfortunate thing. But I can start doing Sticky Tongue Sentinel with Long River Lurker, like little mini loops. I do wish that I were able to make it unblockable, but it's not even like I can make it unblockable in the long run. Okay, they want the 2 1/1s more than they want to draw a card. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. All right. Flicker it, get 2 1/1s. Yeah, because they're thinking that they want chump blockers. They haven't seen my Long River Lurker yet, though. Yeah, I mean, they're playing a deck that's like very similar to the style of deck that I'm playing. Okay, getting back into the Floodmaw. That does make your Into the Floodmaw better. Also, I'm definitely running out of gas at this point. So I'm going to Long River Lurker my Sticky Tongue Sentinel, probably. Then I can play it and bounce Long River Lurker. I mean, I can flicker it and bounce Long River Lurker. A very fragile synergy indeed. They're not gonna make me discard a card. Well, now they know the game plan. They're on a 5-turn clock. I would like to draw Eddymer Crab, you know, some of my good stuff here. Galewind Moose is okay. Really just anything that shortens the clock. But the thing is, the synergy doesn't work. I don't know, maybe I should have found a way to make that 8-power attack unblockable. Mistbreath Elder is really good, but so return a creature to its hand and put a counter on it. Yeah, I've probably lost now. The fact that you get to be just flickering Pawn Profit infinitely, that's really bad for me. Really good value for the opponent. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna try to keep my thing coming, my little attack here. They're gonna bounce my Sticky Tongue Sentinel, which is fine. Oh no, they actually can't pay the ward cost, so they cannot do that. All right, so flicker it. This is really funny. The frog value matchup. But yeah, unfortunately, this doesn't look like it's going to go my way. They just have like a way better engine. Simply because I got the Mistbreath Elder with the Pawn Profit. I haven't seen Pawn Profit or my one flickering card. I'm not really that much of a Frog's value deck. But you know, they do have to deal with my Sticky Tongue Sentinel. They do have to deal with that. Can Dire downdraft the Sky Skipper duo? I think I just will. Well, we'll see if we can find the lines. Into the Floodmaw, that's fine. Just put that back into my hand. That's actually fine because it gives me another cast on it. So I don't really hate that. I assume they're just going to attack with Sky Skipper duo here. And then, yeah, I'll Dire downdraft that, pay the ward. Where's this even getting word from? Oh, what? Where is this even getting word from? It's not a frog. Oh, it is a frog. It is a frog. What am I talking about? I'm sorry. Okay, so now we actually have a nice little opportunity. We can go Sticky Tongue Sentinel, bouncing the Tree Guard duo. Play Tree Guard duo, play Long River Lurker. The only issue with that plan is that I lose my unblockable loop. Right. So do I want to risk losing the loop? So basically, play the Sticky Tongue Sentinel. Play Long River Lurker. That's plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. So hold on. Let's triple count. Play Sticky Tongue Sentinel, bounce the Tree Guard duo. Play Long River Lurker, make it 3-tree Root Weaver unblockable. Play the Tree Guard duo. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. That sucks. Well, if I put them to 3, is that good enough? What would I need to draw to kill them from 3 HP? I think just pushing any amount of damage is actually good. Oh, you know what? I can't actually even recast. I actually cannot even recast the Tree Guard duo. And attack with a 3-tree Root Weaver. I would have to attack with Sunshower Druid. So I guess let's just up our creature count. They're going to see this coming from a mile away. But maybe I should have put the counter on Sticky Tongue Sentinel in case I can deal an extra... So this is 6, 7, 8, 11, an extra 1 damage. Oh, would that have been lethal if I put the counter on the Sticky Tongue Sentinel? Oh, maybe I was supposed to do that. Clumsy of me. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that would have been representing lethal. Yep, that's too bad. Feather of Flight. Yeah, that's dangerous to my health. I'll tell you that much. Feather of Flight is dangerous to my health. Yeah, I actually think I was representing lethal if I had used my Sunshower Druid smartly. Well, hey, maybe we draw a creature here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. If I can just draw a creature, I think I have lethal. So what are you doing? You're unblockable. Well, I'll just take that. Can I draw a creature, please? I just need to draw a creature. They don't have Into the Floodmaw. Yeah, can I draw a creature? That's not a creature. So if I play Long River Lurker, well, you know what? It's not like the plan is dead because I can still bounce my Long River Lurker. So I play this on Sticky Tongue Sentinel. If I play this for 7, so I totally blundered. My bad, everyone. I had lethal. I just needed 1 more damage. And I had that damage in the shape of a +1/+1 counter. So that was bad. Is there anything else that I can do? Attack with Sticky Tongue Sentinel. I can make it be 11 damage. There's no way to sneak through any more damage. Okay. All right. That was too bad. Yeah, I think this game was actually winnable. This Sunshower Druid counter. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. For that to be what the game hinges on? Okay, well, I just need to not lose any creatures here somehow. They're going to get in 8 damage and make me do a bunch of blocking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I survive an attack with everything? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, okay, they actually cannot make something unblockable necessarily. They don't seem to have the ability to flicker something. I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to trust. Oh, they can because of Mistbreath Elder. No, they got me. Oh, that's too bad. I actually had lethal if I had just put the Sunshower Druid counter on the Sticky Tongue Sentinel. Wow, what a way to go down. Oh, that sucks. Dang, my bad. Try to play good, clean Magic, but you know what? You don't always get there. And I'm certain that I had lethal because the only thing that they had up at the end was Splash Portal. It was a single green. Okay, so they get to make another card. Oh yeah, and these have prowess. Yeah, no, blundered lethal. Dang. Too bad. Okay, I don't really want to watch them just go off. Not that much fun. Yeah, too bad. Blundered lethal. I had lethal in the palm of my hand, and without thinking about it, I just put the counter on the wrong creature without realizing that I was 1 damage off. So when I did that, I thought I was 2 or 3 damage off. I didn't realize I was just 1 damage off. On to the next one. All right, happy to keep this one. Dang, it's so dispiriting to just throw away lethal. Knowing that you could have won. And it's like, I was making so many decisions and talking about all of them as I went. That was like the one thing that I didn't carefully think through. Just didn't seem extremely important. But in retrospect, that was the game-losing decision. They could have had Polywallop, I guess. Maybe they had Polywallop, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, maybe they had Polywallop. I'm just gonna believe that to make myself feel better. I now believe that they had Polywallop and it didn't matter what I did. Okay, let's go ahead and lock that guy down. Because Blacksmith's Talent can really kill you quickly. So let's see if we can't get like Long River Lurker plus Splash Slasher online. That could be nice. So I can go like Patchwork Banner for Frog, then play Long River Lurker, flicker this guy. Yeah, they do get a lot of HP back from this, so that's unfortunate. Do I have anything with Reach? No. But I have things with Reach in my deck, certainly. All right. So I'll go ahead and play Patchwork Banner, naming Frog, into a land, into a Long River Lurker, targeting Splash Lasher, in with this guy, bonk, choose to flicker please, thank you, yes, I would like to, lock down the Life Creed Duo again. All right, see how that strikes you. And then I can start doing Trigger Duo nonsense, but they always have chump blockers for that. But at least I have the stats to maybe not get obliterated by Blacksmith's Talent. The only thing is they can just keep putting it on the flyer. Youch. Should I just get rid of their hand? That kind of seems wise. Whatever's in their hand, I don't really want to learn about it. Okay, Junkyard Bruiser is gone. Play a land. Get rid of that last card, please. But then they can just level up the Blacksmith's Talent. Oh, they had another Blacksmith's Talent. Yeah, that would have been scary. Oof. Not necessarily what I'm looking for right there. So now they can give something Double Strike. Double Strike, you say. Okay. Well, I'll double block the Head of the Homestead. Definitely. I mean, what are the odds that they top decked Crumb and get it, right? They do get to get a 2-for-1 here, but oh my goodness. Could I just draw anything, please? That's disappointing. I guess I'll attack. Yeah, drawing nothing is pretty bad here. All right, that's probably GG. I mean, Blacksmith's Talent, it's good if you have the support for it. Life Creed Duo into a bunch of creatures is the support. I mean, Carrot Cake is one of the best cards in the format for a reason. So definitely looks like we did not get there today. Too bad. I mean, the deck was pretty low synergy. Very aggressive attack. Okay, what? Very strange. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm in big trouble now. Big trouble. Okay, Lily Splash Mentor maybe is a card here. Not really. Play a land, attack with the Trigger Duo. I could also have flickered the Trigger Duo onto the Root Weaver. So Lily Splash Mentor does give me reach, but the thing is it dies immediately. Oh no, it gets +1/+1. Never mind. Okay, that could be good. The only thing is they're just going to immediately blow it up, right? They're going to blow it up with the Share Pot and then get in for another 4. Yeah. Oh well. Oh, you have something. You don't even need to use your Share Pot. You just found a Repel Calamity off the top. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my deck was just not really good enough to compete with the turn 1 Blacksmith's Talent. Like, the way to deal with turn 1 Blacksmith's Talent is... You didn't even really need to do that, I guess, but this does let them get in with some extra 1/1s, I suppose. The way to deal with that is just to have, like, amazing synergies, and I didn't really find the amazing synergies. I could have found Savor a lot earlier, I guess, but having the Sunshower Druid team and everything was a little bit too much hot air for my deck, unfortunately. Oh well, a bit of a sad way to say goodbye to Bloomburrow. I feel like I ended up with an underpowered, under-synergistic deck. Not really interested in watching them give us +2/+2 double strike and everything. Too bad. I mean, we're actually dead this turn, maybe. All right, so I lost a few hundred rating. Going 3-3, not the dream for the end of my Bloomburrow marathon. I mean, one of those games, I got flooded and the opponent got 2 of the best rares in the format, but my deck had so much hot air that it was really giving them the opportunity to get there. I actually like the ramp plan and the Eddie Merc Crab, Galewind Moose. Like, Galewind Moose would have been so good there. all of these cards were really good when I found them, but we just weren't drawing them. I spent a lot of time drawing like Ruthless Negotiation, Double Sunshower Druid, Spellgyre, and like maybe a Sticky Tongue Sentinel and a Long River Lurker without any synergy, which is a deck building issue because I ended up in Frogs without having a lot of like Pawn Profits and synergistic stuff like that. Just feel really crummy about the fact that I just threw away Lethal in that game. Maybe they had a Polywallop though, so let's just assume that they had a Polywallop. If not, feels really bad that I put the extra counter on a Sunshower Druid without thinking about it on the Sticky Tongue instead of on the Sticky Tongue Sentinel to go in for lethal. But okay, you know what? Sometimes you don't get to accrue 74 play-in points. And if you want to, you probably have to play really accurately. So sometimes you hit 3 wins, 3 losses, burn a few gems, and try again harder next season, I guess. So for those of you who are not really digging Marvel, I'm definitely going to try to record some, bonus non-Universes Beyond stuff over the next few weeks, kind of aiming for like 1 a week, just to make sure that you don't have like a complete content desert until Fractal, Planar, whatever in October, I guess. So would have liked to bring you some more successful Bloomburrow play, but you know what? Not every draft is a trophy. So until next time, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.